Hello and welcome along to episode 39 of the Don Michelle sponsored A View from Section C. We've titled this episode Consistency because there's a lot of consistency slash inconsistencies from either performances, reffing decisions over the last couple of weeks. So, Senior, how's your week been?
Junior, my week has been all right. Apart from you hustling us the night since I got home from work.
Well, how's your
I've
painting going?
It's nearly finished.
Okay.
Nearly
Okay.
finished. I think it just needs another one coat and that should be it done. And then
Yeah.
the conservatory will get back to normal. And then your mum could make this house look like Santa's grotto again.
Wonderful. Good to hear. And again,
Yeah.
could have got Craig Niche decorators to come in and do that for you.
And I need decorators. I just do it myself. You know me, DIY. I could turn my hand to anything. I'm a jack of all trades, master
Right.
of none.
Well, we might have to get you in to do ours then when Shannon wants to paint the walls herself.
Aye.
But
Shannon's got more than enough time to do that.
yeah,
It's not as if she's busy in the work, is it? Let's be honest.
well, that's true. That's true. So yeah, it's been a bit of an indifferent week in Stars Nation. We'll look at our two games that we played at the weekend past against the Panthers and the Devils. And then obviously last night's game, obviously recording this on Thursday, last night's game against the Flyers in the Challenge Cup first leg. And then we'll have a look at our preview for this weekend's one game weekend down in Belfast. But to start things off,
Also
we need to
remember,
give... What's that?
also remember, we've got Fife next Wednesday.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is true.
Always a professional on the show.
There's so many games that we're having to bloody remember just now, and
Okay.
they chop and change things, and yeah, it's one of these
Like,
things.
I really can't say anything because last night I didn't even think we had a game at the weekend. And then thought it was Cardiff. So,
Yeah. So, but first off, starting the show off on a happy note, we need to congratulate Vanessa Moreland Strange on winning her £60 vouchers for Don Michelle. It's had to go to the Strangers. They just won a shirt recently. The luck is with them just now, is it?
Well, good on them. Good on them. So well done, Vanessa, for winning the £60 for Don Michelle.
And Gail Hill for her £30 win as well. Again,
disclaimer.
No relation.
Nothing. Nothing to do with yours, Junior. Well, not that I'm aware of.
When it came up, Gail Hill, and I thought, oh, fuck, what? Oh, we don't have a Gail Hill in the family, so it's fine. It's no us this time.
No us this time.
So Gail Hill winning the £30 voucher for Don Michelle. So a big congratulations to both of them. As I text to you, and you seen the name that was underneath Gail Hill on the wheel, it was Liz Davidson. I think Liz was thinking she was going to be winning it. It slowed right down on it, and then it just pipped at somebody else.
What a shame.
Mama
Betty never won.
Mama Betty never won. That's what she gets for selling us all those shit 50-50 tickets and shirt off the backs for the last God knows how many years at that table.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, with saying that, let's get on to the hockey. We had two games last week at the weekend there. The 51 Club sponsored game review for the Nottingham Panthers. So, bit of a different game. Luke Ferrara with I would say quite an early goal, 4:43 into the game. Ben Soke then equalised at 11:03. The Knob scored at 11:40, a quick fire goal after us. We're not mentioning his name. Roman Semyonov's equalised, assisted by Sonshin Dow at 17:38 in the power play. Again, 2 minutes into the second period, Steven Anderson scored 22-26. Philippe Songe, then assisted by Barriga and Semyonov's 29-23. We then took the lead through Elijah Barriga, assisted by Semyonov's and Songe at 35-34. Adam Brady then equalised for the Panthers on the power play at 38-56. And then at 63 minutes exactly, JC Brassard with the game winner in overtime. Senior, what was your thoughts on the game in general?
Excuse me. In general, we should have won. I thought we played well enough to win the game. But I think I don't know what was going on. I can't. We'll probably speak about him, right? But Ricci, right, probably turned the game for them. Unfortunately for us, I've seen things like he bullied me. He never bullied me, but
No.
we allowed Ricci. We allowed him to play the game that he wanted to play.
Yeah.
And it was the game that every Stars fan expected him to bring when he was playing for us.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. And in the
Yep.
first game back in Dundee Ice Arena, what do we get? We get Fabrizio Ricci of the first time he was at Dundee.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it away from him. Right? He played well.
Yep.
But they are a poor side.
Yeah. You know what? It's the same Nottingham team kind of effort from last season. They've brought Corey Nielsen in with Rick Strachan again to try and, I think, bring back the good old days, the band's back together. But I still think that it was the exact same team performance that happened under the boy Graham.
Gary Graham, definitely.
There was no
there
difference.
Was nothing changed. There was nothing changed.
But for me, the whole thing with Ricci, and I'm going to touch on this, that there was a comment made about him being, why is he now the villain of Dundee? And you nailed it already, that he never once played that game for us all season. Now, why all of a sudden is he throwing hits to guys? The night before, when they were pumped at home for Fife, he dropped the gloves with his good pal Chris Lawrence. Now, up here this season, at the start of the season, Chris Lawrence is standing cross-checking Barriga 2 or 3 times. Ricci skates over and pulls Barriga away.
Yeah.
So where's that Ricci been all season? That's what pissed me off, and I think that's what pissed a lot of fans off, and that's why he became villain.
That's why he became
in the game.
That's why he became the Panto villain, definitely.
And then he starts giving the fans that boo him the wanker sign on the bench.
Yeah.
Now, listen, this is a guy that loved Dundee. He wanted to come back to Dundee. He told Nottingham no at the start of the season, seemingly, when Pasha wanted to sign him, because he wanted to go back to Dundee. Now, he's completely burnt his bridges with that fan base.
Everything. We certainly burnt his bridges with me. When we signed him, I thought, it's going to be good, but it'll be like the good old days. The only thing is, it was like the good old days, but he was playing against me when it happened.
Yep.
But you know what? The guy played well. He done his job. He got under a couple of our players' skins, and I don't know. Chris had to dig at him when he sort of had a poke at his fencing, and Chris moved him out the way
twice.
So that was it. But they were there for the taking, and I'm no critical. I'm no critical of individual players, right? But as a whole, right, if we're going to be shipping in 4 goals every game, we're going to struggle to win games. And I know that we scored 4 against them, but if you're scoring 4 goals against teams, you're expecting to be winning games, not losing them. And for me, defensively is where we're struggling. The forwards are beginning to score goals. We'll touch on the next couple of games. What was it? We scored 4 against Nottingham. We got beat 6-4 for Cardiff. And we just drew 4 all last night. So we're like 3 games. We've averaged 4 goals every game.
There's more consistency.
Yeah. and then what's happened? We're losing overtime. We get beat 6-4 for Cardiff. And we're shipping 4 goals against a 5 or 4 import sort of short 5 bench.
So we'll come on to them, but
really frustrating.
Nottingham were definitely there for the taking. It's just, again, it's that consistency and inconsistency with the squad we've got this year that we're winning games, and then were just not really turning up for others. And I think we started off very sluggish against Nottingham, I thought, considering they had the game the night before and then the travel up.
Yeah.
We should have been all over it, but they take an early lead. But
It
yeah,
seems to be happening a lot. But for me, like you asked me last week, what do you think? What's going to happen? What's the score going to be? Whatever. I can't mind what I say. But I was like, yeah, Stars win. I just dismissed it. Stars win. Because I could not see Nottingham beating us. Couldn't see it happening at all. So I said 2 points. We got 1 point. I suppose we could be sort of okay that we came out with 1 point rather than no getting any points. 1 point's obviously better than none. But against that Nottingham team in Dundee, we should be beating them because they are pish.
Yeah. So you went 3-2. I went 4-2.
We'll run the far a bit.
We're absolutely brutal at these, by the way. So we then predicted you predicted a 7-1 Devils win, and I predicted a 6-1 Devils win. I got the Devils goals right, 6. So a 6-4 loss for the Stars down in Cardiff. Josh Waller at 2 minutes 13. Semenov assisted by Sonch and Dow at 4:48. We then went 2-1 up through Ben Soke, assisted by Folk and Sonch at 7:57. Brodie Reid equalised at 15:43. The return of the short-handed goal is back. Trevor Cox at 24:08. Joshua Brittain, who we won't really mention on this podcast now, seeing as he had a wee fight with your pal last night, at 39:50.
Shite bag.
Ryan Penny at 43:12. Stars has mounted a little bit of a late comeback. Tom Drutkiss, assisted by Dryden Dow, at 46:51. Ben Soke on the power play at 52 minutes, assisted by Sonch and Dow. But then the empty netter by Josh Waller gave them that 6-4 win. For me, I wasn't disappointed with the result, considering where we are this season.
Yeah.
And it's our first time in Cardiff in this season, and we all know, one, how bad the travel is going down to Cardiff. It's a long bus journey. And two, we always usually struggle down there. So to put up a fight the way we did, to bring it back to 5-4, and then concede the empty netter. I saw a lot on social media after the game about why we're pulling the goalie. We had better chance at 5-on-5. It's just a waste of time. We always concede on it.
Yeah.
Well,
the biggest surprise for me at that Cardiff game was when they announced the team.
Yep.
And Brittain was playing. That surprised me. And I have got absolutely nothing against Brittain. You know that. The laddie's done well. I was really, really surprised. The league is our bread and butter. That's what we need to do. We need to get 8, 7, 6 upwards to get into the playoffs. Finishing 9th and 10th isn't good enough. You miss out.
No.
And you miss out on revenue, probably, if you don't finish in their positions. At the moment, I think we're sitting 9th. I was really surprised because it was such a big league game and what had happened the night before that we decided to leave Anton out and give Brittain the start.
Mm-hmm.
That then told me that we were starting Anton against Fife, which we did, because we were going, hopefully, on a cup run.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to be brutally honest here, Junior, and people might not like this. We're not winning that cup.
No.
Right? We're not winning it. Doesn't matter if we get through against Fife, we ain't winning that cup.
Nope.
So for me, what they should have done was you put your number one goalie in the league game against Cardiff, and you play Brittain last night and give Brittain the cup game. If you're needing to give Brittain ice time, play him in the cup because we're not winning the cup.
Yeah.
We need to finish 8th.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And I think after last night's performance, I would have played Brittain.
Well,
but yeah. So overall, last weekend's results, it was a 1 point weekend.
Cardiff's always difficult,
Yeah. I would have took a guaranteed point against Nottingham. But yeah,
I must admit, I'm disappointed that it's only the 1 point. I'd have
yeah,
hoped for 2, and for me, the 2 should have came at the home game.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but good to see young Rutgers getting on the score sheet again.
yep,
I
yep.
think
It's been a
him.
while.
I think him and Garrigan are beginning to. They're getting a lot more ice time, more
Yep,
than what they've probably had over the last couple of years, and it's good to see them getting it.
yeah,
And they're doing a job, eh? And in some
yeah,
cases, they're we're better players.
yeah, yeah. So coming on to that, obviously they had quite a bit of ice time last night as well. In the first leg. So Fife Flyers Challenge Cup first leg review of the 51 Club sponsored game reviews. It wasn't the best of performances. So the Flyers went 1-0 up on a very soft penalty call, and we'll come to that. Christian Hausinger at 2:28 in the power play. They then went 2-0 up through their new guy Liam Blackburn at 11:51. Timeout was called by Coach Mason, and it worked with tremendous effect. Johan Eriksson pulled one back, assisted by Folk at 12:18. Philippe Songe then equalised at 27:31, assisted by Roman Semyonovs. At 37:35, Hausinger scored his second of the night, and then he got his hat-trick literally 1 minute later at 38:35, giving Flyers a 4-2 lead. Songe then pulled one back, assisted by Semyonovs on the power play at 43:29. And although it says it here on the Elite League website, it was not Matt Cowlett that scored at 49:43. It was indeed Colin Joe, because I watched the highlight back today of the equalising goal, and Matt Cowlett was nowhere near the puck going towards the goal.
I'm
So
devastated.
it was,
I'm
oh no,
gutted.
Colin Joe.
I'm I'm absolutely gutted
I
now.
know,
Honestly,
I
you should
know,
never have said that to me,
I
because
know.
I'll tell you, I've been in a bottle of rant about last night anyway, without telling me that Max had his goal took away from him.
I
Devastated
know,
for the guy.
I
He
know,
puts
I
so
know,
much effort and work and just keeps going and doesn't give up. And he finally gets a goal, but he's not getting it.
yeah, no, he didn't get it. It was Colin Joe. And if it did take a deflection, I think it went in off a Fife guy. But yeah, so a 4-4 draw. Not what we deserved at all. We
Nope.
deserved to
Nope.
be beat.
We deserve
Someone said it before the
absolutely
game.
nada.
Yep, someone said it before the game. Five imports down, 5 players down, whatever. The last time that happened, we got pumped by Coventry.
Yep.
We were dominated. I feel that we were dominated at
Yeah.
times last night by a short
Yeah.
benched Fife team.
Definitely.
I also feel, and I'm not going to apologise for saying this, I also feel there was a lot of pity by the officials on Fife being short benched last night. There was some absolute horrendous calls.
Yeah.
The holding the stick by Toby in the first minute of the game, 1:30 odd. Literally, the guy sticks up and the guy palms his stick away. He doesn't even hold it. He just pushes the stick away, and he calls holding the stick. And that went on the rest of the game
Yeah.
for both sides, and it
Yeah.
wasn't called again.
It was a poor officiating last night. I've always said that, in my opinion, that Toby Craig's the best referee in the league. I've always said it, right? But on last night's performance, he was not the best referee in the league last night. Far
No.
from it.
No.
And Pavel was the same. And what I noticed last night was there was no cohesion between them.
No.
They'd have been better.
There
They'd
never
been
is.
better going. They'd been better going with one ref and 2 linesmen. That's
Yeah.
what they should have done, because it was like they were disagreeing with everything that they'd done.
Yep.
There was
the puck hit the
something
net.
happened.
The puck hit the net, and
puck hit the
Toby
net,
said
comes on
no
the
change.
ice. Yeah. And then that gets flicked out. There's no change. Pavel lets them change. Then Toby pulls Pavel across the hay. It looked like an argument on the ice, and then
Yep.
it was the hands were up in the air as if they didn't care what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then there was one, I can't mind what Fife player it was, but it was like a roughing. It was centre ice.
Sherbinin.
Yes. Yep. And he come and I think he hit Sonch in the head. Nothing called. And then later on in the game, Carter Folk does exactly the same and Toby calls roughing. And you're thinking, where the fuck is your consistency here?
Yep.
I don't care if you're going to call it against Folk, and I'll be honest with you, it probably was a penalty, right? You banged the boy in the box.
It is a penalty.
Right? So that's no the argument. The argument is, how did you not call it earlier when the same thing happened?
Yep.
And then you've got Coach Mason wanting to speak to the officials and they blank him, yet they go skating right across the hutch and speak to Hutch. Why?
Numerous
I
times.
Just didn't get this.
Numerous times they went and
I
spoke
just
to
don't
Hutch.
get it. And I'll be honest with you, I look at Jeff, right? And he's on that bench and he's a cheeky fucker. Let's be honest with you, right? He's worse than me at times at the games. However, he's a coach, and for me, he's a polite guy. See if we're Belfast Giants and Jeff Mason's your coach and he has to speak to their referees go and speak to them. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
It's because Jeff Mason is coach of Dundee. He's getting told, shut up, get back in your box. Oh, yeah, what is it, Hutch? Yeah, wait, we'll come over and we'll speak to you. Listen, the referees were shite, but so were we as a team.
Yeah.
We were poor. We were poor. It's a quarter-final lower cup against your rivals, and if some players can't get their fingers out their arse and show a bit of grit and determination in games like that.
Yep. There's so many times we have guys like I'm gonna mention him by name here. Carter Folk, right? Folk skates alongside a guy, just put his body into the board. You're there, and then the guy gets past him, and then it's just a wee push in the back. And you're like, what is that? What is that doing? We're meant to be forechecking here. We're meant to be back checking, and we don't always do it. When we actually do it, we create a chance from it.
Yes.
It happened a few times last night when we say the third line. Okay, it's Parker and two of the Brits. When they did get going, they turned the puck over a few times. We got a couple of good looks out of it.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me that guys like a Folk, Lidsman even last night wasn't as physical as what he normally is. Parker at times, they're there. The body's there to be hit, and we don't take the body.
You know who the best forechecker in our team is?
Go for it.
Craig Garrigan.
Yep.
By an absolute mile.
Yep.
Not the biggest.
No.
But he just hits the body.
Yeah.
And that's Craig's role. Craig will know that. But why doesn't everybody else do the same? It just and you know what? It maybe doesn't create a chance every time. But you've got a short benched Fife team.
Yep.
Just if this is a game we're going to play, dump and chase. And sometimes, you know what, we sometimes play it really well.
Yeah.
You could dump, you could chase, but you've really got to forecheck at the end of it.
Yeah.
There's no point in dumping and chasing and letting them skate the puck out. You've got to hit and hit and hit every single time.
Yeah. So there was obviously a bit of controversy in the game. And we spoke about the inconsistencies with the officiating and no cohesion between the two of them. We had the first reviewed goal, which was the Chris Ingles clearance off the line.
Yeah.
In which Toby started to signal, and then someone speaking to him, and he's like, as if to say, do you want it? Okay, we'll go to it. Jeff's shouting to Pavel, we want the review, we want the review, we want the review. Pavel goes, yes, okay, we'll check. So that is a coach's challenge to me. The coach is shouting across the ice to ask for it. They've then got it.
So who are you saying asked for the review? Fife
or
us?
Fife. Fife asked for it to see if it had crossed the line or not, because Chris Ingles had cleared it. Because Toby said no goal.
Yeah, so Toby said no goal. Then I actually thought, and I might be wrong here, I actually thought that Toby decided it was going to go to
So
a review.
that's what the league have said. But I don't think it's true. Because if you watch the video back that the Elite League have tweeted, Toby goes like this. He's speaking to him. He goes like that, and he's speaking to Chris Gary as if to say, and he stops. Like the hand stops, and he goes, "Okay, review." So it's like Chris Gary was asking him, "Can you review it?" And Jeff's shouting over at Pavel across the ice, and Pavel's looking at him and went, "You want the review? Okay, we'll check."
Yeah.
So they never won it. They would have got a penalty.
No.
That's none here or there.
No.
Then the big one comes, and we have the full-blown argument between Toby and Pavel. And you can see it from the other side of the ice, where we sit, obviously, via view from Section C.
Yes.
You can see it that the two of them are in the box, and the two of them start to come out the box, and Toby swivels round, because Pavel said something. Pavel's then saying something as the two of them walk down. They then stop again, and you can see Toby having it looked like he was having a go at him. Pavel looked like he was having a go back. And then just before they get to the end of the announcer's box, it says, it goes like, you can't lip read from where we were sitting. But from the way it looked, Toby had said, if that's what you're going with, you make the call. And then Toby walked forward, the door opened, and he stepped back and told Pavel to go on first. Now, it's Toby Craig's call, because Toby Craig was the lead ref that gave the goal at that point. So Toby Craig was the one that should have came out and made the decision. But he didn't, because he disagreed. I have it on good authority by a number of people in that area that heard them arguing. Toby said it was a goal.
Yeah. They were saying that there was a man in the crease. That's what seemingly they were saying.
Wow, pish.
Toby gave the goal, and then as they come out, like you, people have. I got up this morning and I had DMs on Twitter and whatnot. People saying the two of them were arguing when they came out the box, and then Toby was like, "It's a goal." Pavel's obviously saying, "No, it's not a goal." And then as they get close to going on the ice, now Toby came out the box first.
Yep.
Pavel's going behind him, and they walk, and Toby's always in the lead, and then he suddenly stops, turns round, and sort of steps aside as if to say, "Well, off you fucking pop, you're making the call."
Yeah.
No. If Toby made the call on the ice, and I think he called goal on the ice.
Yep, he did.
And he reviews it, and he thinks it's a goal. If Pavel disagrees with it, for me, they go with what the call was on the ice.
Yes, that's what I said on Twitter. I said it on Twitter. If two officials disagree, if one says it's a goal and one says it's not a goal, then it's inconclusive.
Yes.
Because there's two different opinions. So it goes with a call on the ice.
Correct. And that could have happened. That could have happened the opposite way.
Yeah.
We could have been.
Yeah.
They could have called no goal.
Yeah.
Coach Mason asks for the review. Toby's like, "Well, I don't think it's a goal." And Pavel's like, "No, I think it is a goal." And then they decide, they have an argument about it. What then happens is, okay, we can't agree. It's inconclusive. So let's go and say, right, what was the call on the ice again? It was no goal. Right, that's what we'll stick with then.
Yeah.
Go with the call on the ice. Don't fucking make it up. Don't have the referee and the lead referee saying it's a goal, then looking at the evidence and saying it's a goal.
Yep.
And then sort of just going, well, you make the fucking call then.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because it's for a player in the crease, right? We all know Toby Craig loves an in the crease call. So definitely. The fact that he was saying it was a goal makes me think the boy wasn't in the crease fully, or he wasn't affecting the play in the crease.
Yes.
But as I said, and a few Fifers have actually liked the tweet as well, this wasn't about the Stars not getting the call. What does any team in this league have a chance of when you've got two officials who cannot agree or will stand and argue with each other throughout the game? And it happened numerous times last night. It's, listen, I'm a basketball ref. I'll always have my co-officials back, even if I disagree with their call, and I
Yeah.
won't show it. I'll maybe say to them after it, or in the changing room at half time or whatever, listen, didn't think that was a call. Let's keep an eye on that. This is what I think it should have been. Let's keep our eyes out.
Yeah.
But no, that was just pure and simple. They were disagreeing with each other. There was a disagreement on a call. Toby Craig then went to Scott Rogers. Both covered their mouths. Clear as day, they were obviously speaking about Pavel.
Yeah.
It was just totally unprofessional by the officials the whole night, and
I've
the performance was shocking. I think the
I've
performance was
seen.
worse than us.
You know what? You see when the two of them get sort of games together, and they do get a lot of clan games, I must admit,
Yep.
right? And clan goes into meltdown. Oh, here we go again with these two. Fucking hell. Now we could actually understand, because if that happens a lot through in Glasgow, then they've
No, they
only
just
they'll
don't.
hit.
They just think the two of them are out to get Clan. I
Aye.
think they just complain about their calls. I have no complaints about really their calls. It's just they clearly don't like each other.
That's what it looks like
And
to me.
and if there's an ego thing with, I'm not saying it's an ego thing with Pavel or it's an ego thing with Toby. It could be either or. You know, it could be Toby doesn't like Pavel's ego, or the way he was fast tracked up to reffing for all I know. It could just be that Pavel thinks that Toby's been around too long. You don't know, but
Yeah,
there's
man.
something there between the two of them
Yeah.
that I
They
don't
don't.
think they should be allowed to ref together.
No, they don't work well together. They don't. And I don't know if it's because normally the two of them are lead refs up
Yeah,
here. You get Toby, and we've all got opinions, right, on Ferguson, Brown,
shite,
Elliott,
shite,
all these
shite.
guys, right? Now, normally, Toby or Pavel is the lead referee with these guys.
Yeah,
So if you think when Pavel and Toby are together, one of them is not the lead referee.
no, no.
And I don't know if it's
Yeah,
got something to do with that.
yeah.
What
So
what fucking got me last night, I'll tell you, even more than they two,
oh fuck,
right, is a Fife D-man plays forward and turns up and scores 3+1.
I know, I know,
And had a breakaway to score a fourth.
I know.
He is
It
a
was his easiest chance of the night, and he missed it.
he's a fucking D-man. Somebody
Yeah,
should have planted him on his arse.
yeah,
But
yeah. But again,
credit to the boy. The boy played really well. He did.
yeah,
He really played well. Hosinger had an absolute storm. He'll not play like that ever again.
no, no. I think I think
But
we
we
made him
allowed him.
look better. Yeah,
Yes.
we made him look better than what he was defensively. We were shocking last night.
Okay.
You know, Dave Graham and Grant turned up for the first time in a while to a game, and they said that the star performance was terrible. The defence is nowhere to be seen. It's non-existent. The goalie wants a few of the goals back. But again, it's the same every week with that, though. We're saying that defensively, we're no good enough. At the back, we're no good enough.
I think it's all over the ice. We're defensively, we're not good enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, defensively, as a unit, we're not good
Yeah.
enough. You
And
take the
that's a full
Nottingham.
team. But yeah, it's not just the defense unit.
Yep.
It's them all.
You take the Nottingham overtime goal, okay? Now someone shouts back door to Sonch, loses his concentration, guy's in for a goal. We'll allow Sonche that one mistake because he doesn't
Oh,
make many
definitely.
mistakes the whole season,
No,
right?
and see, we Songe Junior, right? I've always said it, and I've said it on here, I've said it on Twitter, I've said it on Facebook. He is the smallest player in our team, but he's got the biggest heart out of
Yep,
every single player. So if
yeah,
that man makes a mistake during the game, he
yep,
makes a mistake during the game because he has dragged us through games this season,
yeah,
kicking and screaming.
yep. So, you know, we'll allow him that mistake, but again, it was a defensive mental lapse by Songe to score the game winner.
Yeah.
We have numerous breakaways last night against with the big fucker Hosinger, however you say his name.
Yeah.
Breakaways, you know, the one that annoyed me was they had three guys come. It was 3-on-3 coming down the ice, a fast break down the ice, 3-on-3, and our three defensive players come back with two and leave the one guy sitting in the high slot on his own, drop the puck back, goal. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? It's
Yeah.
just, it's stupid mistakes that are getting punished every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We Ken, what we said that last week as well, and actually I can't mind if we did. No, we never. It was the Nottingham game, and I forgot to bring this up in the Nottingham game. We went down 5-on-3,
mhm,
and we played two forwards and one D man.
yeah,
We play Carter Folk as a D man, and you've got another 5 D men sitting on the bench.
yep,
Just didn't get that. Just didn't get
yeah,
it, and they score straight away. They scored in the 5-on-3.
yep,
But yeah, going to last night, the biggest issue again is if we fire pucks at the Fife Flyers logo on Shane Owen's jersey, we are not scoring goals.
yeah,
Shane Owen has got to be moved from side to side.
yeah, yep,
Keep firing pucks at him, he'll save them at the he will. And we had a chance, and Shane Owen kicks it out, saves it, kicks it out. They go down the ice. Boy takes a shot, goal.
yeah,
And for me, that's the difference. Shane Owen turns up for games every game.
yep, every week.
Unfortunately for us, when we need our goalie to be on top for him, it does not happen.
It's, I'm going to say it. It's not that it doesn't happen. He's no good enough to be relied on to win games. He might be a solid goalie, but he's not a goalie that we can rely on to win us the game. We need to
Yeah.
perform at all ends of the ice.
Yeah. Everybody was a bit concerned due to the number of games that Anton was going to have to play.
Yeah.
And I just can't put my finger on it. He's a good goalie, but we need somebody of the ilk of Shane Owen.
Yeah.
Somebody like that, especially the way we play defensively.
Yeah.
As a unit, we're not helping the guy. We're not.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
we don't help him, we need him to be a big player for us.
Yeah. So we're going to need all hands on deck as we come into the Craig Niche Decorators game preview. This weekend, it is just the one game against the Belfast Giants away. So yeah, it's so I'm going to go out with a scoreline here now. Okay, I think we're going to lose 5-2.
Okay,
that's where I'm going. 7-1. Oh, I'm trying to be optimistic because
I never say 7-1 who yet.
Come on, eh? We're not scoring 7 in Belfast.
I really after the week that we've just had, Nottingham and then Cardiff and then Fife defensively, and they've just got, what is it? The guy Josh Roach has just came back for them.
Yeah, and they got rid of the
so
guy
they let Butcher go. There is rumours of JJ coming back. I hope the fuck JJ's no back by Sunday.
There's also a rumour that Kevin Rain's leaving.
Well, is he not injured? I seen someone that fans had reached out to him and he thanked him and everything. So they're
was that not last season when he got his ball cut?
No. It was this year. It was only the other day. So there's rumours that JJ might be back, and that's one band that nobody wants to see get put back together again.
I know.
Goodwin, Conway, and JJ picking it.
I know.
So hopefully it doesn't happen before this weekend. There's also daft rumours that Adam Cracknell, NHLer, and here's the biggest end, but this end does the rumours every year anyway.
Paddy Lockett Guildford.
Zdeno Chara.
He's done. He's retired.
Cracknell was rumoured during the week as well.
But to us?
It'll be Mint Cracknell will we get.
Mint Cracknell, aye. Oh God! But yeah,
I'm not looking forward to this weekend.
Well, especially after them getting beat twice at home for Manchester last weekend.
know.
So
Uh,
they'll be on the warpath, I think, and I think the
they're due
changes
their
that,
fans one, eh?
yeah,
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 massively. So
yeah.
let's hope that we can, pick up a point, be happy with a point in Belfast.
Yeah. You
Considering we
know
only
what?
got the one against Nottingham.
We tend to do okay in Belfast. We have done even this season. We've done okay.
Why
But
have you
as I
said
say,
that?
well, I've said we're getting pumped 7-1. So
I know, but you say, oh, yeah, we usually do well in Belfast. That just means we're going to get pumped now. Commentators curse, man.
yeah, lucky I'm not commentating then.
Well, speaking of commentating, I actually have to bring this up about Swanee, saying it was disrespectful of booing Fabrizio Ricci. Just going to say,
Yeah,
that's a load of shite.
yeah.
Load of shite. Anyway, Belfast, let's hope we can get a point out of it. Wednesday, the second leg of the Fife Flyers Challenge Cup quarter final. Listen, it's perfectly poised now.
Yeah,
Go in, win the game by a goal, you go through.
yeah.
So
That's it. You win. It doesn't matter what happens now. Whoever wins the game is through.
yeah, that's
It's
it.
as simple as that.
Yeah,
Uh,
do or die
I'm
now,
going to be I'm going to be controversial.
and say Toby, Craig, and Pavel are reffing it again.
Toby and Pavel will referee it, and we should play Britain in the goal.
I would play Britain.
Yep.
And yep.
And come on, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I've said it at the start. It's a cup game. We might get through. We might get through the semi-finals. Then the run stops. Honestly, the run will stop.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so Belfast defeat for you, senior. Fife
Unfortunately,
defeat.
You know what? I'm going to be optimistic.
Okay.
I'm going to say we're going to take it in overtime.
Okay. I think
I'm going to say we're going to go through.
Okay. For me, it's a Giants win. Belfast will win. I think 5-2. I think. Giving us a wee bit of credit there, and trying to keep it down less than 6 against the big team. But Fife, I think midweek. I know it's only across the water, 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, but it's a midweek game. We usually tend to struggle in midweek games, especially in their wee shitty rank. I think, with Fife also doing a special offer for their season ticket holders, £15 for normal paying adults, £12 for season ticket holder adults. I think they will pack the barn, as they used to say.
I don't think
it'll be
they'll
a
pack
big.
it. I think
it'll be a bigger crowd than what
I think
a lot of people think.
So what was that? We were just over 1,100 last night.
Never over 1,100 last
Didn't
night.
look
The
like
fucking place was
1,100 to me.
empty.
Didn't look like 1,100 to me. However,
And they couldn't account the season tickets last night either because it wasn't a season ticket game. So there was nowhere near 1,100 last night. The
didn't
Fife
look
end
like
was empty.
1,100
We were
to
empty.
me. I think Fife will get closer to 1,300, 1,400.
I think
they'll
more.
turn up. There's a chance to get a cup semi-final on the line. But
I think it'll be about 1,600.
I'm going to go out there and say we're going to sneak through.
Well,
whether it's overtime
folks.
or whether it's penalties, I'm going to go for it.
Well, there you go. Senior is predicting a Stars win in Fife.
Yeah.
I think we'll be pipped at the post, I think. Could be another controversial no goal decision.
Listen, as I say, the be all and end all for Dundee Stars, right, is the league.
Yeah. I'm just raging because it was fucking Big Streaky that scored again for the winner.
I know.
I was absolutely raging that Streaky didn't get his game winner because he honestly, I really like him now. I really do.
And for those who don't know who Big Streaky is, we are talking about Parker,
Yes. Yeah. I think if you didn't know that's who we were speaking about,
I know.
Come on.
Yeah. and it's no disrespectful nickname we've got for him. Lee Wilkie, who is ex-Dundee and United football player, and Lochie United, I hasten to add, his nickname was Big Streaky.
Yep.
And he was tough as tough as they came. Fuck, we could have done with Lee Wilkie last night. I'll tell you, he'd have banged a few boys last night.
I know, but Big Streaky. I was gutted for him, that he never got the game winner.
But
gutted.
Touching before we quickly finish, touching on players that were banging boys last night. Dowdy, Were we
Fuck
buddy
hell.
was fighting? They fucking hanging it. Listen, you better get in his good books because I've got to try and blag testimonial tickets.
Oh, honestly, you've already got the day off work. I've already put in for my day's holiday, and so Shannon. So
I've
yeah.
not put in for it yet because I'll
Oh
tell
well,
you, it ain't
we've
fucking.
got it off. So
That's good for you because I'll tell you, it ain't fucking buying to go and watch it.
aye, I know.
But he
But
did
yeah,
say he did message us last night after his game because I said, "Oh, I've seen the scrap and
of
that."
course you
It's one,
messaged them, you fucking
obviously.
puck slut.
And then we were on about the tickets for the game, and he says, "Yeah, they're still not on sale yet. They will go up on the online shop. I'll give you a shout, see what happens, and we'll catch up the 18th." So when we catch up the 18th, I hope he's coming up with 2 tickets for us. Shannon, she's getting chili pie. Chili pie. She's not listen. She's no Dowdy's pal like us. Right?
Like you.
Oh, is that it? Right. So there'll be
Yuri's
one free
pal.
ticket.
Yuri's pal. I'm just the boy that interviewed him.
That's it then. Right. There'll be one free ticket for Dowdy's testimonial and 2 people paying. But he did say that. He says if we come down, he says he's really looking forward to coming out and getting a massive cheer for the Sheffield fans. And his words were, and I get booed by twa dicks. So,
but yeah,
happy days.
we'll have to. I tweeted him today actually saying that he put his merch post up on Twitter, and I was saying that we'll need to get him a View from Section C T-shirt for his testimonial and take it down for him. But yeah, so
what do we get in return? Do we get T-shirts in
with
return?
tickets,
Like
hopefully.
is it like swapping shirt stuff?
Aye, yeah, that's what it is. We'll go centre ice. We'll swap shirts with him. But yeah, it's been a tough week, a bit of a stressful week again. That consistency between performances, the very much inconsistency with the officiating, certainly last night anyway. But here's hoping that we can restore a bit of pride on Sunday in Belfast, and then for the people that are travelling through to Fife on Wednesday, that we do come back there with a semi-final in our back pockets.
Yeah.
You never know what could happen. We might get. You don't know who we're going to get in those semi-finals. I don't know how it works out yet. So depending on who we get, if we can get a home
Junior,
leg first, you never know what happens.
You know what? I couldn't even tell you wasn't it other. What else is playing in the? I know it's Sheffield Cardiff, and I couldn't even tell you what's playing in the other games. Honestly,
I think it's Belfast Guildford. Someone's telling me, or Coventry Guildford, and then Belfast have got the other one, which I think's Manchester, because Nottingham got put out, did they, in the cup? Oh fuck!
Couldn't tell you.
I'm making it up. I'm actually making it up right now.
Honestly, couldn't tell you.
I'm just naming the other teams in the league.
and get what's frustrating about that. This is the way we're playing during games, right? It's like it's having an effect on sort of my enthusiasm for the cup. Now, if we'd been playing really well and we were maybe sitting 6th, 7th, 8th, and we were in games and they were exciting games, you'd be like, right, who we got next? I'm like to you last night, are we playing at the weekend?
Yeah.
I know. Wasn't the other cup games?
Yeah. So as I say, let's hope we've got a wee bit of cheer next week. Some Christmas holiday cheer coming up.
Well, there'll be Christmas holiday cheer tomorrow because it's my work's day out.
Karaoke. Yes, you're on the karaoke.
That's why I wasn't shouting last night. Got to keep the voice.
She wasn't shouting much after the first period. Again,
I was proud of a shout on. I was proud of a shout on Saturday against Nottingham though. Terrici. Quite proud of that one.
Yes, we won't repeat it. It's a family-friendly show to an extent.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, again, we just want to congratulate Vanessa and Gail on their prize win this week.
Well
Vanessa
done, ladies.
Even tweeted us to say that it's made her day even better. So glad we could bring some joy to your faces and to your lives. It's a good prize. 60 quid for Don Michelle.
Wow. Yeah.
But also a thanks again to Don Michelle for the prizes and for being the title sponsor. A big thanks again to the 51 Club in St Andrews and Craig Niche Decorators for sponsoring our game previews and reviews. And on that note, it's always a pleasure to have a wee chat with you, Senior, about the hockey, even though
And
we
you,
moan about
Junior.
it the whole game, and then we come
Yeah.
back here and moan about it again.
I'm going to do it
But
again.
we will.
Yeah.
We won't see you this weekend.
I'll see your wife.
A nice weekend off. Yeah, you'll see my wife, but we won't see anybody this weekend. A nice weekend off. Tigers Comets on Saturday. Big game. So might end up at that, depending on what time I get back from West Lothian at.
Yeah.
But yeah, we won't see you. So again, thanks for listening, and you will hear from us next week.
Next week.